All right, I'm Shamari.
I'm Alec.
I'm Emiliano.
We're going to be talking about psychology.
All right.
So the literal definition of psychology stems from the Greek words psyche and logic. Logic means study of, psyche means soul. So technically it means study of the soul.
But textbook definition, it would mean study of behavior and mental processes.
Now this video, we're going to be telling Emiliano about the impact theories of psychology. First, we're going to start off with personal. Personal deals with diagnosis and just basically all the mental stuff with psychology. Just like the personal stuff, so it's called personal, right?
Okay.
We're gonna start off with diagnosis is like and self-fulfilling prophecies. If you go somewhere, go to the doctor or something, and you take a test and they say you're depressed, that's definitely gonna change your mindset. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go home thinking, damn, I'm depressed. Like,
Yeah.
So you're gonna walk around acting like you're depressed, you're on these medications and stuff, and then it's just like
Like making me think I'm depressed.
make you think you're
Right.
depressed. This is gonna make you in a deeper depression.
Also, how we talked about in class, like a lot of these kids get diagnosed with ADHD, but I mean, let's be real, they're just kids and they want to run around, they want to play. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, you're really hyper. So you really don't have ADHD, but also it's a lot of thing with therapists and getting diagnosed by the book with money. So all of that plays a whole role in, what you're getting diagnosed with, what you're gonna think about yourself, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of thinking about yourself, stigma is a really big thing. If you go around growing stigma, it's like what you're told, like why you're growing, like what everybody thinks of a certain topic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you're growing up and like
Sit right here so you can see your face.
Okay.
No, Shamar.
Okay.
So like growing up, if you're told like depression's bad, like you don't have mental health's not a thing, stuff like that, you gonna start believing it. But then when somebody tell you got that, it's gonna hit a little harder. It's like, oh, I thought they didn't exist.
Yeah,
Like,
because everything you've been hearing.
Yeah, like you when you grow up and your dad like you not sad for being man. That's like a stigma, right? Like you grow up thinking like, oh, I don't need emotions. Yeah, that's gonna dig you into a deeper hole. Yeah.
So, let's talk about families. So we got foster care, divorce, and we got child discipline. What I think about that is with foster care, you're getting a child from foster care, you're getting money for it every month. So, some people do it. They get a lot of kids, so then they can have more money from the state coming in monthly, so it could be wrong for that.
Oh, like they could profit off of it.
Yeah. And then like divorce, it's like who has custody of the child, so it's like 50-50, and that may take an impact on your mental, what you're thinking, all that type of stuff. It all plays a role. So
and then that'll drive the kids apart. Cause like say you do have multiple kids, right? They gonna split the kids up too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely going. There's a lot more mental stuff that goes into it.
Right.
I mean, I haven't dealt with a divorced parents. I don't think you have either, so we can't really speak on that. How you feel about child discipline? We had a big conversation.
What child discipline?
Like whooping your kid, like
spanking your kid.
Yeah, I
like,
think that should resurface.
Research. You think the kids should get whooped?
Yeah, because to be honest, like how most kids grow up now, like they don't have no respect at all for like the people who matter in their life, and they don't really appreciate their parents as much as they should. I feel like in this generation.
Yeah.
And growing up, I got whooped, and I feel like that helped me learn right from wrong.
Same here. That's why I agree with whooping your kid, but I think
beating is different though.
Beating's a whole
beat your
different.
kid, but spanking your kid should be okay.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like a lot of these legal cases maybe on spanking your kid, it just depends. I feel like what state of mind you're in. Like if you're really beating your kid, that's different than spanking and discipline.
Right.
But they both, there's a boundary. So I do agree with spanking, but beating is a whole different.
Beating is a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Last thing with family, counseling.
Counseling?
So, yeah, families definitely have their problems.
Yeah.
Everything, and some people just deal with it. But some people think counseling's a big. How do you feel about counseling? What do you think counseling is like?
I mean, I've never experienced counseling, but if there's, I don't know. I can't really. I've never experienced it. If my family's ever had a problem, we just deal with it. We talk about it, right there.
I feel like, I don't know, a lot of families may go into counseling because they feel like it's a deeper, bigger issue that they can't
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so know.
I mean, I
Not too
guess.
much. You sit down a little more. It's better. Alright.
Bouncing off divorce and foster care and stuff, we're gonna go into the legal parts of it. We talked about earlier custody, taking custody of the kids, pets, houses, like all that
Yeah.
is definitely stressful,
Right.
and that could definitely take a toll on someone's mental health, and not just custody and families and stuff. There's so much legal stuff that has to do with psychology.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the sex registry stuff earlier.
Yeah, like in class when I looked up, the sex registry, there's a whole bunch in our area. I didn't even know that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes down, and it's from the smallest maybe assault or just like a charge like that to being a child molester, and like it's a lot. It's a lot.
And then people often use mental health to boost their I don't know how to say it. People use mental health as not an excuse, but like they could get money out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Like government checks and stuff
no,
like
no,
that?
no. Like you
Or
can
no?
sue somebody for
Yeah.
emotional distress. You can be perfectly fine. We watched something in class about a teacher pressing on a little kid, like one of her students, and she took like an insane plea or something like that. Like she was like,
Oh,
she
because
was like,
she
I
has
wasn't
something
in-
wrong with her mentally.
Yeah, she was like,
she
I wasn't
got
in the
away.
right mind. I wasn't in the right mind. So
I get it.
I also saw a video on TikTok. It's also about knowing your rights and whatnot too, because this police officer pulled over these two kids, and their mother was a lawyer, and the kids didn't do anything wrong, but the policeman, he was trying to get his money, whatnot, write them a check. But they took him to court, and she sued for $2 million for emotional distress on her kids because of that. Because that is traumatizing. If you're getting pulled over by a harsh cop, you know what I mean? And it's like your heart's beating and you're like, what's going on when you didn't do nothing wrong, you're gonna be scared. So it's like that part, when we were watching that video in class too, and when I saw that on TikTok, it really clicked a little bit more. It made sense to me at least. So that's a big thing. One we learned about in class under legal that was very interesting to me was insanity versus incompetence. So basically, insanity is at the point of a crime, you go insane. You can't decide right from wrong, and you just, let's say you murder someone, you just murder them. You can't really control your brain because you're in the wrong state of mind.
Oh, okay.
So like,
So like in that moment, you might be like so worked up that you can't control your own decisions.
So
and you
like
just
like in movies when like they like and then they just go off and then like the screen turn black and it like pans to them like in the hospital or something.
I see,
That's
I see.
insanity, right?
Yeah.
Then we're gonna move on to incompetency. That's like where like you're just not in the right state of mind, or like you just don't have the ability to be in the right state of mind to be questions and stuff. They'll just take you somewhere else.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So like a mental institution.
Mental
like,
jail?
institution,
Yeah,
Okay.
like,
rehab center or something
Oh,
like that.
exactly. And then when you get right and you get out, then they're able to question you because you're in the right state of mind, and
I
they
see.
can actually get the answers that
Right.
they need that are true.
Right.
So
And that bounces to our next topic, the diversions. And that's basically, there's four, I think. There's juvenile, mental health, drug, and veteran, right? So juvenile is if you're a kid, like you can't, like if you commit a crime, and you're like 14, 15, depending on how bad the crime is, they're probably not gonna send you to jail. Warning, like probation maybe, right? Then there's a mental health one where if you're like diagnosed with something, like if you're diagnosed with like schizophrenia and like you hear voices and things of that nature, and like you just, the voices are telling you to do something and you do it, and they know you have schizophrenia, they're not gonna take you to jail. They'll send you to a mental institution.
Oh, okay.
And they'll figure it out. Then there's a drug one, like they know you're on drugs, like they'll just send you to a rehab center.
that was really crazy to me, like to think about all the divergence, because it really has a lot to do with like age and everything. And like if you were to commit a crime, like maybe a murder or something, you're way younger than me, you would probably get sent to juvenile or like, you know what I mean? Or you would,
as much trouble.
yeah, you wouldn't get in as much trouble. If I were to murder somebody since I'm 19 years old, I'd get a life sentence.
You're gone.
You know what I mean?
And you're black. That's another thing. Race is a huge.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to bring that in the video, but race is huge.
No, that I mean that's true. Like you can even say that.
That's true.
Genuinely. But yeah, it's just all about age. But psychology is with like the developmental psychology. I know we're not talking about that, but that has a lot to do with a lot of these rules that are governing around us too. So
Last diversion is veteran. So PTSD is a real thing.
Yeah.
So if somebody's just having a PTSD attack and they're just going crazy, they accidentally do something, they got PTSD, they're not gonna lock them up. It might, depending on how bad it is, but like I said, rehab, mental institutions, it's just different. Like there's just different
ways.
different ways to
situation.
handle. Yeah, different ways to handle situations like that.
what's our next one?
Education.
Where did I write my education? Oh, so the education we got the DAEP. So developmentally appropriate educational practice. So this is like when you should include certain subjects in school. So like what I was talking about with developmental psychology. You're not gonna teach a 6-year-old about sex education.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna be able to really process it. They're not gonna be mature enough, and they're not really gonna understand like how that's going on. You're gonna maybe introduce that late middle school or early or.
I learned in 5th grade. I got showed the
5th grade.
video. They was talking about like sometimes I get hard. I don't know what it means.
Well, you know, it
No, it's-
maybe like in steps, like they show that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you
It's
don't.
definitely different.
Yeah,
It's
it's
different everywhere.
different.
Yeah.
So.
Continuing on with education, IEPs. IEPs are individualized education programs. So, back when you went to state school, right?
No.
You know there was
You talking about elementary?
like high school.
Oh, yeah,
You took
yeah.
TCAP. Did I take TCAP in freshman year?
No, we took it in middle school.
Middle school. Okay, yeah. Did they take people out of the room that got special time?
Oh yeah.
That's IEP. IEP.
Yeah.
They'll take
I
certain
know.
people out, and if they need special time, need special attention, need special classes, that's what IEP is. That's basically.
I had a
what it
friend
is.
that had that.
I actually went through that in elementary school. Yeah, like I was just sent to this different room, like 2 days or 3 days out of the week for like an hour and 30 minutes for like extra reading time. I thought I was really dumb. I feel like I was, but like
See, that ties back to self-fulfilling prophecies, bro. They gonna
Yeah.
take you out, they make you read extra, they make you
Whoa.
a little slow.
yeah,
Right,
because
because the stigma around it.
Yeah.
with
Come
the
on,
kids
see,
going
look,
in the
you
room,
learned
Exactly,
something. You
yeah.
learned
It
something.
just
That's what
makes
we're here for.
people feel like they're less smart. I can see.
But yeah, it was like all my buddies wouldn't get sent to that room, but like
Yeah,
I would
it's
get
just me.
sent, and they would just come snatch me out of there and like walk me over there, and I had to read more, you know. But yeah, so that does play a big impact on all that.
Yeah.
But IEPs aren't always bad. There's definitely positive IEPs where
Right.
they're just like special classes just for more advanced kids. It's not just for people with learning disabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Next one we got is social and political. So like language, laws, political views. I mean, even research, like all that type of stuff. A lot of the stuff with like the government, like you're not gonna see, you know, on the news them talking about, yeah, we just put this law into the textbook, and even though we tested these drugs on kids and we really don't know what they do, this is the results we got. Like, you know what I mean? Remember when we were talking about that?
Yeah, we kind of found that kind of weird.
Yeah. So like you got to dig around it and find out what they're really talking about, because a lot of the stuff has to do with money. So
Yeah. Money's a big part in everything. Realistically, money. Like if you look at my thing, there's money sign. Like there's money signs everywhere because money is basically like the center of everything.
It really is.
Like if doctors stop getting patients, then what? You really think doctors be treating people?
Right.
If therapists actually help you mentally, like you think they make money? Like if they not fixed, if they helped you go through what you're going through, you think they would come back?
Right.
So you're just losing money. So everything's really just surrounded around money. You like the story that you talked about before we started.
It was that we watched this video in class. This one lady, she was in a mental institution, I think, or something. She was getting therapy, and she had to stay there for like 30 days because her therapist would not let her go, even though she was fine. She was able to make her own decision, and I don't know if she sued for it or not, but she talked to a lady on the news who was really big time, and once they knew that she was talking to that lady on that newscast or whatnot, or on that social media platform, they let her go because they didn't want a bad rep to be on them, because they knew what they were doing was, wrong, because she could make her own decision and get out of there, but they just wanted more money. You know what I mean? They wanted a longer time so they could,
just to make profit off of it.
Exactly. So it's like a lot of that stuff is wrong. Now, don't get us wrong. There's probably a lot of good therapists and that are willing to help you, but you got to really be smart and understand yourself. That's the main point of a lot of this, because a lot of it has to do with money, and they will try to get the best of you. So that's a big one.
You're going bouncing off that. So when people do take stuff like this to court, the judge doesn't decide. The judge always gets the final say.
Yeah.
But the jury, the people on the side,
Right.
they have a big influence. They have a big influence on what the judge says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So something that people do, they really try to influence the jury to go their way. That's a whole nother mental aspect. People are trauma dumb. People are just lie and lie in court just to get their way. Everything's just surrounded by money.
Yeah.
Everything's just surrounded by money.
So is that the last one?
I'm pretty sure. Then we started talking about.
Yeah, we started talking about Charles Darwin and William Wundt.
Yeah, William Wundt, King of Psychology, something like that.
So basically, out of everything we talked about, what is something that you have learned and you can conclude about, all the information we just given you and the conversation we had?
I'd probably say, like, the whole thing around, like, stigmas and stuff. And the first one, when we talked about, like, the divorces and the foster care and the discipline and stuff like that, I feel like that one really, like, I could, like, talk about that one the most.
Yeah.
And it interested me the most out of every topic.
Yeah.
Other than that one, I'd probably say the last one, because the last one was interesting too.
Talk about money.
Yeah.
The money. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it just revolves around digging deeper and really finding out what it's really about.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You got any questions?
I think I ain't gonna lie. No, not really.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, good conversation.